consistently make the case that business is the problem, not the answer. That business is the enemy of the people. And frankly, if you do polling of individuals, people who are anxious, worried, business isn't particularly popular right now. People feel anxious about the future. Interestingly, if you looked at some of the polling and focus groups, it would scare you. Frankly, we'd have to start the cocktail party a little earlier than normal if I showed you what some of the polling shows. We have particularly young people, their ignorance and misunderstanding about free enterprise and business is astounding. We have quotes from people to the extent of, oh, capitalism, yeah, that's what North Korea does. Russia, that's what capitalism is all about. If you poll isms, capitalism, socialism, communism, the worst performing ism, particularly among young people, is capitalism. Sounds mean, don't like it. Socialism, that sounds comforting. We have done a poor job, frankly, as business leaders and as community leaders in educating the public, and particularly young people, about the role of free enterprise and business in our society. And so how has that infected the legislative outlook, if you will, and the political outlook in Washington? Again, we entered into this political environment with some hope. Our members have been talking about healthcare reform for decades. It routinely polls as the #1 issue for business. And so again, the president took an initiative to move into the healthcare space, and what did we get? We got the double down theory of healthcare reform. Let's take the most expensive healthcare system in the world, and let's fix it by making it a whole lot more expensive. Frankly, the reason why those bills have run aground, if you will, is that for a number of people in the country, business in particular, they don't offer anything. There's no promise of getting healthcare costs under control. It's more taxes, more regulation, more of what we don't need. Card check legislation. The chamber has been at the forefront of pushing against a ridiculous piece of legislation, which, by the way, people don't understand, has passed the House of Representatives at least twice, and is sitting with the U.S. Senate, and balances on a very precarious few votes. I mean, there are a few conservative Democratic senators that control the fate of card check at the moment. And that legislation, as you know, would not only allow for organizing folks just by signing a card, no secret ballot, but just sign a card in a parking lot or at home or wherever anybody can threaten you. But also, if you don't come to an agreement with the union within a very short period of time, the federal arbitrator can come in and impose a contract on your business. And that's not just wages, that's benefits, work rules, the whole deal. I mean, this is just a really bad and really dumb piece of legislation. But it was, at the top of the organized labor agenda. The president just the other day mentioned that he may try to incorporate it in a jobs bill, so keep it out of a standalone piece of legislation that can be beat and roll it into a jobs bill. We're going to have to be fighting that every day of the week. But why do we need to be fighting that piece of legislation when we should be focusing on jobs? So again, the political environment is not at all conducive to getting our economy back on track. Financial market reform, needed, absolutely.